post-production, mind your own business, and everything that you're hearing on it. You ever have one of those days when you're just plugging along in post-production, minding? Good morning. As you can see, we still have no skin on the bus. We're going to start changing that today. Now, a few weeks ago, we did skin the other side of the bus, and we did that off camera. We wanted to learn. We wanted to see how the process worked. And so let me go show you that real quick. Got the back cap all done here. That was in a previous video that you all have seen. But this side is completely skinned. You see we deleted some of the windows, deleted those ones. So on this side we deleted 4 windows. On the other side we're deleting all but 5. We got the rub rail back on. It looks pretty good. A little bit of surface rusting happening here from the rains and the snows. Not too concerned about that. I'm going to show you how we get rid of it on some of the metal that we're going to be using today that's been sitting out in the elements. I'm going to take a drum buffer to it, and then the whole bus is getting an ASPHO treatment that will do a rust conversion. Back over here, this is the driver's side of the bus. First thing we need to do is cover the bottom portion of the old emergency exit door opening, just to get it all up to this level here. From here up, it's a 44-inch opening, and then a 2-inch overlap at the top and the bottom. That's a full 48-inch wide sheet. So we've designed this so that we don't have to cut every single sheet going in. Where we're not deleting windows, it's a full height, full 4-foot sheet. And then once we do the skinning, we're going to start from the back and work our way forward. And that way all of our overlaps go correctly. You want the front overlapping the back, and you want the top overlapping the bottom. That way rain, as it sheds down, the rain goes from sheet onto the next sheet, not into the next seam. The front over the back, as you're moving down the highway, same thing. All of that water will shed down and it'll land on the next sheet. So where we're doing the bottom of this emergency exit, the front edge is actually going to be laying the wrong way. So we're going to make sure that we seal that really well. All of the other seams that are laying the correct way with the right overlap, we are not sealing in between the sheets. When they build these buses, they don't put lap sealants in between. They just lay the sheets in the correct way, and they don't have to worry about them. Alright, well, we have drilled all of the rivets around the bottom half of this emergency exit door. On this side, we didn't have to drill any out because the rub rails start far enough back and they give us enough gap. On this side, they just came too close, and there's not enough room to overlap that new metal underneath there. The next thing to do is to remove all of the reflective stripping. We'll do that by scraping it off, and then we'll take a drum buffer and buff it completely off, because with that on there we won't ever get a good seal. And then we'll take our measurements and we'll figure out exactly how big a piece of metal we need to fill this gap.
I think I just threw up in my mouth.
So to get rid of this reflective stripping, we're going to start out with a paint scraper, and we're going to get the bulk of it off. So now we've got most of it off with the scraper. I'm going to take this guy here. Can't remember what its actual name is. It's got a big old grinding, buffing wheel on it. And so we're going to take this and get rid of the rest of it. Alright, well, as you can see, that gives us a nice smooth surface without that pesky reflective tape to adhere our new metal to. These tools are fantastic for removing any of this kind of stuff. It heats it all up, so it gets rid of all of that adhesive, kind of turns it into a putty and then powderizes it and just shoots it away. It's also a good way to get rid of the decals. Now let's get the rest of this reflective tape off from around the door. Max, probably go 27.5 by 22.5. Alright, so this is the piece of metal that we're going to be cutting. I'm going to get rid of some of this rust here. Alright, got my first cut clamped, 34 1/16. The distance from the edge of the sled to the blade is 1 1/16, and we're doing a 33-inch piece. So there you go. Here we go. Got ourselves a little gasket all the way around. So now we can bring the piece of metal in. See, I have this kind of thicker paint scraper kind of deal, and we use that to kind of pry these apart as I need to get the piece to slide in correctly. Put some marks on the bottom to make sure that I had it high enough up, and now I can put in, I'm going to put a rivet right in the middle, and then work my way out, and then work my way up.
Son.
Wow. Alrighty, well there she is, all installed. A few more rivets to add, but we're going to be running out of rivets, and so I want to get everything on and secured, and then I can go through, do a recount, and order rivets one more time instead of having multiple rivet orders. We're going to be taking the rub rails off of the door here and installing them onto the panel here, so this section won't be completely void of rub rails. So next we'll start cutting these and installing these panels here. These back two sections will be open for windows, and then full sheeted all the way up to up here, and there will be 1, 2, 3 windows, and then a full panel again. So that'll be fun, but that's gonna be a different day. Today we're done. And I'm gonna go play some pickleball before I gotta go back to work.